In this video, we're going to be taking a closer look at the Maven Clean plugin. And let's come in here. I've got our Hello World project up, and let's take a closer look at this. So if I come in and do a package on this, we can see that Maven's going to run. We're going to be kicking into the default build lifecycle, and we're going to run all the goals up to package. And this is going to generate a jar for our project. So I'm not going to install it or deploy it. I'm just going to do the packaging on it. But you can see here, if you're paying attention, this little reddish orange target folder wasn't there at the beginning. And now we can see, if we go in here, we can see all the stuff that Maven generated during the build processing. And this is the target directory that we've been talking about. Now, if I come in and run this again, we can see that Maven's going to go, oh, everything's up to date, and it's not going to do any work. So actually, I'm surprised it actually said it did find some changes, which is kind of a surprise. But here you can see nothing to compile, all classes are up to date. So that is because the target directory is still existing there, and Maven thinks everything's good to go. A lot of times you can go through and do development and you won't have any problems at all, a lot of times. But if you're doing refactoring and renaming classes and things like that, those old artifacts, those old compiled artifacts are still going to be there. They'll still get picked up in your class path. And in the words of a famous IBM engineer, unpredictable results may occur when you have that situation. So you can get some really weird stuff happening when you have refactored wreckage sitting there in your build directory. So to clean this up, what we can do is come in and run the clean target again. And we can see that target directory has been gone. And now when I do the package, we can see that it goes through. And if I scroll up here, we can see that it is copying one resource, or compiling. So it copies one, compiles it. So surprised there's a copy. Oh, resources. I'm sorry. So that's the resources plugin, then the compile plugin. So my mistake there in misreading this. You can see that it's telling you exactly what the plugins are doing. And it went through and regenerated that target directory. Now, one thing that we can do, and I'll show you how to set this up, is let's come in here. We can tell Maven, remember the build lifecycle, all the phases are just hooks for us to run plugins. We've been going off the default, but if we come in and add a section called build, and we say plugins, plugin like so. And try and find the Maven Clean plugin. You can see there's a bunch of them. So we're going to say Maven Clean plugin. And in this case, we should be able to inherit the version of it. So we don't need to, if we wanted to override the version, we could do so here, but we are going to inherit that. And now we say executions, and then execution ID. We'll call it auto clean. We can say phase. And I did a control space there, and these are the different phases. And let's come in here and we'll pick the initialize phase. So this is when things start off. So we're going to say during phase, initialize. So here's the section of the POM where we can add one or more goals. Here we just want to do clean. Now we don't need to do clean : clean because we are already on the clean plugin, so it already knows that. So now if I come in here, now basically what we're telling it to do is hook into the lifecycle, the initialize phase that's in the default lifecycle. So if I come in here and do package, I'll probably go by too quick. I don't think IntelliJ will see that directory get deleted. And it actually does want the plugin version, so I'm surprised about that. So I thought I'd be able to get away with not running that version. So let's go ahead and try this again. So now we can see that that did run normally. So let me expand out this window a little bit. So we can see that we're building it. And before, now this is running. So we can see that I fat-fingered auto. So we'll correct that. And we can see this is going to run. So let's try this one more time. And I want to see if IntelliJ even sees it get deleted. So no, it happens too quick for IntelliJ to actually see that folder get deleted, but it is happening. So it gets deleted, and then the next step recreates it. So it goes by pretty quick, but we can see right here that it is deleting it. And then next thing is the resources plugin that's going to copy over the resources, generate the target classes, and so on. So the build remains the same, but what this prevents you from doing, a lot of times on the command line when you're building things, you're going to do Maven clean package or Maven clean install. And so you'll be running two goals from the command line. Pretty common thing to do. You'll see that in a lot of builds. But by adding this simple configuration to your Maven POM, now we're hooking into the lifecycle of the default build lifecycle. So remember the initialize, we looked at, was it 27 phases, if I remember right, that are part of the default lifecycle. Now we're going to hook into that. That's one of the earliest phases. That's initializing the build. And now we said, whenever I build this project, I want to delete everything and start from fresh. So nice little pro tip there. And I want to give kudos to the Maven guys. If you look at the clean plugin, the documentation for it, they do have this example there of how to do this.